on social media, we give our sports updates from the weekend every day the night before on every morning.
Right.
But on Monday, since we have a live show, we incorporate that into the show.
Right.
So let's kick it off. Get ready. We got Francisco Molinari wins the British Open. He beats out Tiger and Jordan Spieth.
Okay.
Surprising to me that Tiger was as close as he was at one point.
He's getting good.
At one point, he was like, I think, tied for like second.
Okay.
And then like that last round, right? That last round.
Yeah. You think he's back deep?
I don't think he's
being competitive, being Tiger.
I don't think he's back to being Tiger.
Okay.
I think he's on the way.
I'm pulling for him, man.
Or on the verge of being back, being back to being Tiger, getting back to being Tiger.
I hope so.
But I think he just has to be consistent. I think he just has to continue to play.
Yeah, I think
he'll get there. Because like I said, in the Open, he was tied. In the middle rounds, he was tied at one point for like second. Then it was like the back rounds kind of got to him.
You think he's going to win a major again? They talk about that a lot on ESPN. Which I thought I
think he will.
Yeah.
I think it's going to take a little bit.
He might squeeze one more.
What is the percentage you think he's going to get out? Now, I hate to change the narrative or our conversation. The percentage of him getting up one major before he retires.
That's pretty likely. I'd say like 7.
Master for US Open.
I'd say about 60.
It don't matter.
Not one of the big ones.
But
I'm talking about a major.
Nah, I don't think he's going to win another major.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Not like
that's the question.
Not like that.
Yeah, that's why I brought that question up. You think he's going to win a major?
I don't think he's going to win another major. Maybe a mid-major or something like that.
Yeah,
and I say that just because,
wow,
like I caught up on it yesterday, and like I said, it looks like the back end with his injuries and everything.
You say you feel good.
The back end, right? You can say you feel good, right? Until you get out there,
you get on that back nine,
you get out there, and then
tightening up.
You know your back start tightening up. You walking all that way.
He's only 40, right?
But still, you know, golfing 18 holes, you walking.
Right.
In 18 holes majority of the time. Like,
and his power game, that was him, his power game.
And your power game with your back and your shoulder and everything, and your swing, it takes a lot out of you when you got to walk.
So you said no, and you said
those back end, those late rounds are what, you know, will really
I'm pulling for him. I hope he wins.
I hope he does.
Because Jack Nicholson's 17, right? So he's 14. Yeah. I'm pulling for him, man. Seriously. Because that's the question everyone talking about right now on your spin. Is he ever going to win one more major? If he won one more major, his legend is already cemented already. Everybody know that. Some people think he's the greatest, even though he didn't catch Jack yet.
Right.
Real quick, so we can move on. I was like, I'm pulling for him to get one more so he shut all the media up. Like, okay, he grabbed one more major before he finally get out of there.
Like it's always, especially after a controversy like that.
You know why? We don't talk about that.
Yeah, they try to get you out of there. But if he can get one more after all the hardship,
that'd be great. That'd be like 2. To me, that'd be like 2 or 3 today. Okay. So
we got Johnny Manziel being traded from his current CFL team to the Montreal Alouettes. I don't know what to say about Johnny Football. Johnny's a piece of work.
Something else.
But in reality,
the booze,
you know, in an idealistic situation, I hope that he can turn it around and get a shot.
I'm pulling for him too.
Get a shot at the NFL at least.
Right.
You know, I don't know. I don't know if he's changed enough to get there and stay. But I'm just pulling for him to play well enough to at least.
You think he ever
get
back
shot.
in the NFL though?
Because quarterbacks get hurt. I mean, I think he will.
Yeah, because they need.
But like I said, it depends on him. I don't know how much he's changed.
Right.
In order for him to get back and
stay.
Yeah. Like I never want to see somebody not do well. Like if
show their full potential.
He's been playing football his whole life. That's what he want to do. I want to see him get that opportunity.
Right.
But it's just he got to raise his maturity level.
Yeah.
Like that's the NFL or NBA or whatever. Just like any other job. You got to come in, be professional, be respectable. You know, you can't just come in and do all types of crazy stuff and still expect to be able to perform.
I'm gonna say what J.J. Watt said, and you probably heard of it. He said, "You know what? I'm gonna take care of everybody. You know, he's had a lot of injuries. He said, I'm not gonna do no foolish stuff. He said, I drink beer after I get my Hall of Fame jacket. That's what he said. Absolutely. He said, look, you can drink as much. You can't tell. Some people can't do that.
Everybody's not. Everybody's not.
They said money makes who you are.
Right.
Not to jump off the subject. They said in the Temptations or whatever, like they
everybody's
said,
not.
They rough like money makes that person who he really is. It brings it out more.
Absolutely.
And J.J. Watt says, like, you know what? I'm gonna drink as much beer I want after I finish. I'm not doing that in my career. I'm messing with my career.
So Brew Hanlon, shooting coach, says that Markel Fultz's shot has been totally rebuilt.
Okay.
And Sixers fans are in for
I know you had
a surprise. I mean,
y'all already loaded.
Here's my thing. Mm-hmm. Here's my thing with the Markel Fultz situation.
I like him
currently, and a lot of people are saying that he possibly should have been in some discussion as far as trades, and they're wondering why they haven't added him or they kept him untouchable, if you will, because. Again, like we always say, a lot of the people we talk to, a lot of people that tune into the show, a lot of sports fans in general don't understand the other side of professional sports. And, you know, no issues with you being a fan. I love the fan-isms, the fandom. I love it. But every now and then, as a true fan, as we like to say, you have to get an idea, or you have to somewhat understand the business side. And one of the things with Markel Fultz now is the fact that he was the number 1 pick. He showed you flashes. He had an injury. And you're from that area. Correct me if I'm wrong when I say this. And I've told people this from way back in the beginning. From what I've seen in my coaching in AAU and dealing with Beltway basketball, just Beltway athletes, it's a loyalty. And the loyalty there is kind of like Philadelphia sports fans' loyalty on steroids.
Yeah, true.
Am I?
Absolutely.
And people say, well, how do you know this? I said, because I've been involved with players and coaches and people from that area. And I get it. And I said, one of the things I felt like was that loyalty is in him because it's where he's from. It's carried in him. And the situation with the injury, the way it played out, I just felt like it was something going on, obviously, but him being the number 1 pick, having expectations from the team to participate, be a part of the plan moving forward immediately, he kind of didn't really want to say it, because he wanted to try and push through that loyalty. It's like, y'all drafted me, I'm here, this is what I need to do, I'm going to try and get through it. But it got to the point where he couldn't. And I said, and also the flip side of that is, he's 19 years old.
He's not 21, man.
This kid, he's in the NBA. He's in the NBA, but technically he's a sophomore in college.
Exactly.
So think back, and I tell people, think back to your sophomore year in college. If you were there, it was retribution as far as I got through the first year, I'm still here, and then it's like as an athlete, it's like, okay, I got through my freshman year, it's a possibility for me to get more time. Things are going to get intense, and you look at a college athlete's day, like Baldy always says, it's a lot of times when them dudes don't really eat. And people were like, "Yo, what do you mean they don't eat? They have
the finances to eat."
It's not so much the finances, because of the course of their day. They have a meal plan, but because of the course of their day, like they get up maybe 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. You might have practice or workouts. Then you go to class.
They're scheduled,
right? And your classes are always scheduled where you have time to get your classes in, maybe get a snack or something. And then get to either study hall or you're in official practice. By the time that's over,
you ain't eating nothing, really, a meal.
Child hall's closed.
That's a shame. True.
You know? So that's the other thing why Ben Simmons and his documentary, and they're fighting now for it, these kids need a stipend.
That's why they look
because they need to eat. And I mean, I know it from being in school.
Yes, sir.
And I would always take containers to the cab with me. At least 2 meals a day. I'm taking a container with me. And in worst case scenario, I got cereal I can eat in my room or something. Or I got some noodles and I can microwave. You know, with the noodles, all you need is a microwave and some water.
I did that job for Pittsburgh.
You know, so I could get the stuff that could put something in my stomach. And let me know, all right, I'm cool, and I can still get up. Like with the pasta, you gonna burn. Like you can still have that energy
the nutrition
to get. It's enough nutrition to get you through to the next day. But and that schedule was like, yo. So again, getting back to Markel Fultz, is like 19 years old, and I'm literally now able to do everything that I dreamed of from the age of maybe 10 to 14, going into high school. Now I'm here, but I'm only 2 years removed from high school, but I may still have a couple friends that are in high school that were around me, like, but now I can go, but now I can go and say at 19 years old, I can say, look, I don't feel like sitting home today. I want to go to Cancun. I can literally
do that.
Get up, go to the airport, and go to Cancun. You know,
it's too much for a child.
So it's a difference. It's a lot for a 19-year-old
to suck it
all in.
The sponge.
And then it's like now I'm playing basketball.
Wow.
So the basketball schedule is not that hard for me. I got to be here. I got to be at practice. I got to be at team meetings. I got to have films or whatever. I'm going to have doctors and whoever, coaches checking on my nutrition. That's no big deal. He went to a big-time college. That's no issue for him. The issue for him is that 82-game stretch, possible stretching to another month and a half into the playoffs. And now I'm playing against grown men.
Been in the league 10 years.
But even not that. You've been in the year 1 or 2 years. You got to step on me because this is my first year. You might only be 20, 21. I'm 19. But you got an advantage on me because you've been here. I'm coming in. It's not even like exposure is kind of a bad word to use because it happens. It happens in all sports. The only thing it doesn't get magnified. Not to cut you off, but I'm gonna let you go in a second. The only sports it doesn't get magnified in is baseball and hockey. Because their farm systems are so in depth but their farm systems are so in depth where you can get drafted as a hockey player right out of high school at 17 and go play professional in that farm system and move up. The same thing with baseball. Like one of the guys the Phillies just drafted right out of high school, signed a $5-6 million contract at 17, 18 years old.
Phillies coming, they're gonna win the title.
Now in football, it's a no-go, and this always brings me back to Ray Lewis talking to Maurice Clarett when Maurice Clarett wanted to come out early. Ray Lewis put it to him straight with no chaser. Listen, I'm a grown man. You 19 years old. You a running back. When you come through that hole, I'm trying to take your head off. At that point, age don't matter. You got on a different color jersey than me. I'm trying to clean your clock. It don't matter. Are you ready for that? I said, and he said, and this is just me.
Singletary.
But then you got another 30 teams that's going to do the same thing. Are you ready for that right now?
And so, piggyback off that, like every level you go to, you start from scratch. If you're the best player on your high school team, when you get to college, you're just another guy. You're the best player in college. When you get to the pros, just another guy.
Average guy.
And to circle back to Fultz, you know, I really want that guy to succeed. You know, his 10th grade year in high school, he played JV. So what happened was, so it was a camp. It's a camp in the DC area. It's called DMV Phenoms, top 80. So he goes to the camp the summer between his 10th and 11th grade year. Takes off. Like everybody's like, who is this guy? Where did he come from? So like he went from finishing 10th grade playing JV to 3 years later #1 pick in the draft.
Wow.
That's like unheard of. So like I know for a fact, like I don't know him personally, but like I kind of seen that journey, you know, from afar. Like just being in the area, going to like being involved with high school basketball. So like there wasn't a question in my mind as to whether from the performance piece. So I knew it had to be something. Like the injury they said he had was like a nerve thing, and that's always tricky. Like you can heal up like this, or it can linger for the rest of your life. So yeah, like.